All right, so you've come to this video of Kryptos K4. I'm hoping you walk away with something you can use. Um, so I've found some patterns within Kryptos K4 that I think you might be interested in. Um, so this theory or method is dependent on the previous Ks being completed or deciphered, K1, K2, and K3. Um, and the method that you use is more of a journey that is through Howard Carter's eyes, maybe the discovery of King Tut's tomb and the excavation and exploration of the various rooms. To begin, we're gonna do some excavation ourselves. So what we're gonna do is, if you look at Kryptos K4, notice the letter D, the letter I, and the G. Dig. Well, with how many anomalies are in this cipher, you might overlook that. But one thing caught my eye. You want to dig somewhere, you'd probably want to dig underground on this thing. So that's kind of what I did, and let's see what happens. The D turns into. I'm sorry. Let me take a step back. This is going to be using two forms of stenography. The first method is simply finding the next letter in K4 and looking directly underneath to find your deciphered letter. So we started out at R, and we just went to our next D to find the T. Now we're going to find the next I, and you find K. The next G, and you find an O, and you just keep on going. So that's the first type of stenography. Control C, Control V, and that may not look too, it may not pop out to you, but hopefully you'll see something pretty soon. Okay, so one thing I should also note is that Kryptos K4, it appears to be backwards. Maybe you're supposed to be looking at it from the other side. I don't know, but for me, I seem to be going from the bottom right to the top left when you should be going from top right to bottom left. But this direction has been working with me, so I'm going to stick with it. So what I just did is I just reversed that text, the last 5 characters of the bottom row, which composes of 4 groups of 4. And we're just going to go back to that dig portion of it, and we're going to find our next C. Brings us to an R, next J, which is a D, T, X, and this last one is you're at this X right here, and you're going to take a leap of faith. You're going to jump. If it's going the other way, you might be jumping into maybe stepping down or something like that. I don't think so, but that is a possibility. Why else would you want to dig underground at that specific spot? If you were to be going from any other place, I don't see anything that really sticks out over here. If you're going to be coming from any other direction, you're not going to get the same characters. So, yeah, you have to enter in these plain text, ciphertext, what do they call them, abscesses or pompous or whatever. You have to be going from a certain angle. You can't be starting from 1 and going to max lengths, So far what we got is we got airite, which is a type of camper shell. Coney, those are a type of shocks. Not only know this because I googled this stuff before. You got mud RT, those are a type of tire. So with those in hand, we have graduated to the next row. It appears that the first 2 blocks of the row to me, from my viewpoint, is the first two blocks, those are like K2. This is like the corridor, and you're going to be limited between the question marks. So when we're trying to find from here to here, we're going to be limited to in between question marks, and that will help you discern, are you going too far? Are you going in the wrong direction? You know, stuff like that. At least that's what I think so far. I haven't decoded enough in order to figure that out. I'm hoping you are able to do that. So let's go up to WGKD. DK. Yeah. Dyslexia. I got it. Okay, so let's clear this out. And like I said, we got to mess this up somehow. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention these triple D's, DDD, those are on underground. Keep an eye on those. But anyway, let's mess this up by turning our page 180 degrees. If you were to be using paper and pencil, you'd basically want to just put the paper up to a window, and you'll be able to see. You'll have on one paper probably double spaced or double lined or whatever. One with plain text, one with ciphertext, and you just kind of offset it, kind of like I have it right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your ciphertext. On here it's black for me. You're going to rotate that 180 degrees. That will put your characters that are in the top left into the bottom right. So that's what you're looking for right there. If you were to flip it other directions, that comes later, I think. I think that comes up here. All right, so where are we at? Well, I can't explain it, but these K's right here, where those K's align, you just know K's deciphered to K's up here, so that's where that is. So that's the best I can explain it. But once again, I'm backwards, so I got to reverse everything that I did. Go up here, and we're just going to go back to that. Where's the D? Where's the G? And where's the W? SRAT, that doesn't mean too much. TERS, that means something to some of you people, especially in those secret positions. But in our case, it spells Tersa. That's, I think, a Mexican tire. Did I explain this before? I Googled all these things before. They're all car parts, so that makes sense to me that maybe I'm on the right path. The only thing that has me kind of on the end is these X's. If we were to treat all the X's the same, then this doesn't make sense. So I'm either thinking that X's are considered different right here than right here. Because in this column right here, the second one over from the right, you definitely have to delete this X right here. And if you don't believe me, let's see if we can build some confidence. And let's find KPFZ. Backwards once again, so I had to switch that. Let's just get behind this K so that we can hit it. There's really no distance requirements, just you can't hit the wrong K, and that's why I'm backing up so much. So I hit that K to the K, P to the C, F to the O, Z to the L, and to normal people that spells lock. Alright, put that right there. And you notice that we're up to a question mark. So this is how I interpret this so far. We've got the rubble. We went down the for 16 steps. Yeah, there are 16 steps into King Tut's tomb. A little bit of a distance. You found your way to a lock. I believe this question mark is a key. I think that's what they symbolize. So let's go in and see what's up. So we're going to go to this layer right here. Clear that out. this is another leap of faith type, maybe not, more like cherry picking. I would think this is borderline if it wasn't a multiple of, well, if it wasn't 4, but you got to remove the 4 cues above light in this method. There might be, for whatever reason, addition of characters in the bottom one, but from what I believe, it's you delete those cues. Maybe they're magnifying glasses, maybe they're clues, maybe they're the flickering flame. I don't know, but hopefully you guys can figure that out. Okay, so got to load that up. Not going to go too far without that. So we got MTTV from my perspective. You got your M to the C, T to the N. This is the part where we get into the cherry picking space again. You got to take out the LL for absence of light lies. So you got to take out the 2 L's. Now we can get back to finding our next T, T to the I, B to the L. Let's reverse that. Link. So it's you know, I think we're onto something. Okay, so next we find this one right here. Now for me, this is just as it is. For you, if you're going the other way around, you're going to have to flip this cipher so that P is the last character that you use. Let's see what happens. B to the I, what's N turn into? N turns into the B, Y turns into the E, and this is, we're at the last character. Last character is P, turns into an R. See that? Right there, turns into an R. So that's how far I got so far. Kind of on the fence with the next parts, but in reality, I'm not too. I think this has already been solved, honestly. So I don't need to be the first one to solve it. I don't need to know what the answer is. I'm kind of wrapped up in this sculpture. To me, this sculpture means many things to different people. Whether it's a dollar bill, a flag. For me, it's kind of a transmission line, and that's a transmission signal. There's a lot of similarities in my line of work. I do with signals and encryption and stuff like that. So there's a lot of similarities between the Visionaire cipher and AM and FM modulation for radio and stuff like that. And there's various tools that I use in this field to find different aspects and to identify certain things. And I think we can use that for ciphers. I just need to work on it while this is kind of still in front of me. So I want to build like some waterfalls or spectrum analyzers and run test signals over these encryptions. And I got a theory that it's also a way to find different type of ciphers, fingerprints, and to find out what something is not and be certain is, in my opinion, possibly just as good as finding out what the cipher type is. So both helpful, yeah, but I'd like to work on something like that, and I might make it something look like some ancient devices or something like that. But oh yeah, so what's up with this car? I can't say this is the case for sure, but I think it might have something to do with. Cut that out. Okay. Anybody that's looked at this cipher for a period of time has noticed the N. Cool. Have you noticed the start? START. Have you noticed that this spells HORAY? Well, that's not hooray, specifically, but it's close enough. Hooray, the end, and that's the start. That might be a clue. It might not. I think it might be. I did it in a different way, in the way of it was more of K4. It went up to like the X over here or something like that, and I had to put a K in front of car, and ended up spelling track backwards with a car on it and all that kind of stuff. But maybe it's as simple as putting CAR right there, and you can see your start lines up with um, the A, STA. Okay, here it is. That T that should be A lines up with the A in desperately. That's the misspelled character. There's actually two minor errors. It's not that word anymore, pretty much. Anyway, so yeah, as soon as you start flipping things over here, this gives clues in the plain text that stuff that you may need to do. However, unless you know that something is a hint and what type of hint, you're almost guaranteed to never get it. This what I kind of demonstrated right now, it's kind of hindsight. I found the answer that I wanted first, and I moved the cipher, and it happened to make sense for the most part. I believe it makes perfect sense, but I mean, yeah, I guess you can decide. So yeah, I think my next post that I'm gonna do probably gonna be like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I want to see if I can get this um, application or website uploaded, but I need to do a lot of fixing to it. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to, think that something, an outcome to some of the functions that you use. I want you to have confidence in them. I don't want it to just spit out something and you think you have found something, or you think that something isn't what it actually is. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't want it to give you wrong answers. Anyway, I hope this is a little bit of educational, maybe beneficial to you guys. Yeah, thanks for your time. All right, out.